myself Kirti, and I'm currently working as an inventory analyst at Caterpillar. If I had to describe myself in one sentence, I'd say I'm very curious, who is always trying to connect the dots and learning something new every day. To me, a process improvement means never settling. There is always a room for an improvement. Teamwork isn't just about completing your task, it's about how you support the system around you as well. Communication is a game changer in every field that we work in. So no matter in which field we are working, communication really plays an important role.
In this episode of Change Makers by ABBS, we have Miss Kirti from MBA 2019 to 2021 batch in finance and marketing. Now logistics analyst at Caterpillar, Kirti shares insights from her global process improvement work, her ABBS journey, and what it takes to lead, communicate, and collaborate effectively in today's fast moving supply chain world. Hi, Kirti. I welcome you to Change Makers by ABBS podcast. Thank you so much for joining us in today.
Hi, Nita. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. It's great to be on this podcast. And myself, Kirti, and I'm currently working as an inventory analyst at Caterpillar. If I had to describe myself in one sentence, I'd say I'm very curious, who is always trying to connect the dots and learning something new every day. So I started off with BCom and later I pursued MBA with dual specialization in finance and marketing from ABBS, and I'm from batch 2019 to 2021. But over time, I found myself gravitating towards logistics and supply chain, though I studied finance throughout my life since my BCom to my specialization in finance and MBA as well. But this was not something I had really planned, but something I naturally grew my interest into. Over the last few years, I have worked across different regions, learning how supply chain operates globally. That's about my professional, and outside my work, I'm someone who always say yes to experiences. I actively volunteer, especially for animal NGOs. I help the animals which are really in need of whenever I have my time. This gives me a sense of purpose beyond my desk. I also love hiking and painting, and I am somebody who tend to pick up random hobbies all the times. So recently, if I could tell some of them, is like I started learning skating, I'm started learning swimming, to boxing, badminton, and crocheting. I can name them a lot, so I keep picking up new hobbies to just to keep my brain active all the times.
That's a great introduction, I would say. And also, Kirti, specifically, I would like to know because I have seen very less number of girls or women working in supply chain management. So, what got you interested in operations and supply chain management?
Honestly, this wasn't something that I had planned from the beginning. It just happened to me, and I'm so glad it did. I would like to give some backstory to it because back when I started studying my MBA, I didn't know much about supply chain or logistics, but I made it to a point to say yes to every opportunity that came to my way. One of those was like being a student coordinator for supply chain conference at ABBS, which was a conference held by ABBS, and there were couple of guests who were coming into and reporting their papers, and guest speakers who were speaking about supply chain and logistics. I still remember that being a student coordinator of that particular program, I was coordinating, running around and managing things when one of my professor introduced me to one of the guests who was part of that conference, and he happened to be the director of operations at Neovia Logistics. So that one conversation changed everything about my career decision that I made, because few weeks later I got an offer for an internship from Neovia Logistics, and I did say yes to that internship because I was still studying second semester of the program, because I was sure that I still have a lot of time to explore a lot of things. So made a decision that okay, there is still an opportunity for me to explore altogether new industry that I can. Otherwise, I always had a plan to be in finance since I did pursue BCom, and then I was having a specialization in finance as well. So that one conversation changed everything. A few weeks later, I was offered that internship with Neovia Logistics as an operation analyst. And it was supposed to be for 3 months initially, but it kept extending it. And honestly, I didn't mind at all. I was learning every single day real processes, on ground challenges, tools, and system that I had to learn, that I had learned, which only in theoretical, but here I was also learning them in the process as well. So what made me exciting was that realizing how every small improvement we made had a greater effect to the clients. That sense
Yeah.
of impact hooked me into the supply chain industry.
Right, absolutely. So you have worked, you have just mentioned like not only supply chain management, but you have worked towards improving that process as well. So you have worked in process improvement in different countries. So what is exactly process improvement in any kind of organization mean to you?
Okay. To me, a process improvement means never settling. There is always a better, simpler, or a faster way to get things done. So, one example I could give is that while supporting warehouses and logistics operation, especially in distribution and inbound activities, I noticed that well designed processes sometimes led to unexpected delays or miscommunication. So, we made it a habit to revisit our workflows after implementation. Also, once the
Right.
project was marked as done, we didn't just move on. We monitor those projects for a few weeks, few months to actually see how the project is running in real time. How it is performing in real time. Also, we understand that the work culture may not be similar in all the regions. So different region have a different work culture, and the way of processing things and executing things may differ based on the work culture as well. So once the project we used to run in real time, and often we find new things that could still be improved, whether it was documentation clarity or coordination steps or tracking visibility. So there could be a lot of smaller things that we could still change in the project. We initially thought it could be perfect, then that could run 100% correctly. No, once after we monitor the project, we always find out that there is always a room for an improvement to improve any project or any processes that already existing in warehouses or in any work that we are already doing it in. So that
Right.
experience taught me that the process improvement isn't just one time fix, it's a mindset. It's about staying curious and asking why more often, and understanding that even a small change can unlock a very big value in any processes that we do. And also, I have learned that process improvement doesn't always mean big changes. Even a small things that we make changes in everyday work that we do can have a very huge impact on the differences in the task that we do. That's what
Right.
process improvement means to me.
Yes, it's basically like optimizing each and every steps in the entire process that will lead to the process improvement. That's what is my understanding, and as per the explanation that you have given.
There is always a room for an improvement, no matter how initially we think that it's perfect thing that we already executed. But once the
Right.
project or any task that we run, is always we can make a smaller improvements. That's what continuous improvement or the process improvement can be.
Right, that's true. So while in ABBS, you were the part of entrepreneurship sale. So I just want to know, like, did it really help you in throughout your journey in professional life and as well as your personal life?
Oh, definitely. ABBS, we did have this entrepreneurship development cell. So I joined that club in my first semester. We did actually introduce to a lot of different clubs along with marketing clubs, TEDx, EDC, and entrepreneurship development cell was one of the thing which actually caught my eye because I was very much interested into learning how business works and what this club really has to offer me. So that was the first time when I saw what leadership really means, how it actually works. EDC really helped me boost my confidence because I was being part of so many programs that were being held from that particular club, because we were being taking responsibilities in conducting events from that, and that's where I had to put myself out, meet different people, get things done. So it really helped me boost my confidence. And also from entrepreneurship development cell, we had an opportunity to visit IMB and learn from the people who are really already into the business world. And I did understand a lot of actual problems that are faced while running business. It is not just what we study in textbooks, but these kind of events or the programs that we go into when we meet real people or actually into running or in the processes or in the business, when they share their experience, we get to learn a lot of things, and that really helped me understand from their experiences. And it's one of the great thing that I joined EDC cell. Also in this cell, we weren't just organizing events, we were creating them from scratch. from planning to budgeting and execution and feedbacks. It was all full cycle. And as a
Yeah.
student, we didn't have a formal training on how to run all these events. So we just had to figure it out through teamwork, trial and error. So that's where I actually learned how teamwork helps, as we all know how important being in a team in corporate world as well. So being a part of EDC cell helped me a lot how to communicate with peers, how to, pitch your ideas to the peers or to your professor, where eventually you'll be, telling your ideas to your manager in future. So these things you can actually align it with through when I started from the college days as well. So EDC really helped me and gave me a great experience on how to lead with confidence, communicate
Yeah.
clearly, and get things done. So these are the lessons I still use in every project that I take on.
Yeah, it is always soft skill wherever you go, even in corporate, even if you start your business, or even if you're a sports person also. Along with
Right.
technicalities, you always need soft skills. So, you were recognized for your teamwork at Neovia. So, I just want to know what kind of message would you like to give to the young professionals and
Mhm.
students who are looking for working in big companies and also improving their teamwork?
Right. So as you mentioned right now that having technical skills is not only enough to survive in corporate world, we also need to have a lot of soft skills that really play a very big role in how we put ourselves into the team. So when it comes to a bigger team, that I worked with cross functional teams across shifts and regions. So one thing I learned is that quickly is that teamwork in big companies isn't just about completing your task. It's about how you support the system around you as well. So my biggest tip would be understand how your work impact others. It's not only, as I mentioned, completing your tasks, but also it's really important to understand how our work impacts in all together as an organization. So I always made sure I was aligned with team goals, not just my own goals. That meant following up respectfully, sharing updates very clearly, being approachable, especially when the days are very during high pressure days. So teamwork isn't just about doing everything yourself, it's about making it easier for everyone else to do their job as well. So that's what teamwork is really.
So during your work also, you have trained others and have made videos to clarify their concepts and all. So how do you think that communication plays an important role in your work?
Right. So as again, communication is a great soft skills that we all need to have along with the team management. Communication is a game changer in every field that we work in. So no matter in which field we are working, communication really plays an important role. For me, communication isn't just about how fluent your language is. It's about whether the other person truly understand what you're trying to say. So one example I can give in regards with the communication regarding one of my project, that I did come up with an idea of creating videos. When this idea did actually come up when I was undergoing one of the mandatory lean yellow belt training that all the employees should go through.
Yeah.
So when in terms of training, we always follow the traditional method of training, which is usually the classroom training. It does take a lot of time and effort to keep people attentive throughout the session if it is more than 60 minutes. So I always had a different approach of studying concepts. By even during my college days, I always used to watch videos on YouTube to understand the concepts with real time examples. So then I realized that people who are actually working in warehouses on the floor will have a very less time to undergo to the training, and maybe they also might have a difficult time to understand at one go whatever is being taught, because they'll always be occupied with working in the warehouses, because they'll be working on the grounds with very tight deadlines. I realized that why don't we make this training a little bit fun and interactive. So the idea was not to change the training method entirely, but to make sure that people are learning the necessary concepts and which will actually help them to perform their jobs. So there I created 1 minute animated videos explaining the lean concepts, which were really important for them to know, which were related to safety in the warehouses, to learning, to the waste elimination, that are very much important for the warehouse employees to know to reduce the waste when what work they are doing. So those animated videos with examples which I had created really got a great appreciation, because these were played all across the organization in the warehouses, and it actually created a great impact where once we saw that when people are being audited on the same concept, when asking the questions to them, they were actually able to answer the questions. When we asked how did you remember that, they were like, we did see these animated videos which was very impactful and we could remember it. And since it was a very short duration, it did not let their attention move anywhere else than the concept that they were actually looking into it. So communication comes in a lot of different ways, and
Yeah.
it is very important on how we communicate to the people, and it's important that they need to understand more than how we are actually communicating. So yes, that's about communication.
Yes, great way to look at it. I think all the training programs should implement this video and the short format video for especially for people who are working in the shop floor to understand the concept. They actually understand it. They actually do it on daily basis. When coming to the optimization of the process, they need to be aware through these kind of videos and training, what we call it. So you have done
Right.
many different projects. So you have done many different projects. So can you recall one which has actually changed the way you think and work?
Yes, my time at supporting international logistics or processes completely changed how I
Mhm.
approach to problems right now. So working with global teams means understanding the different systems, time zone, expectations. For example, one of the project I was working on was on the Lean Six Sigma certification that we used to roll out to the different warehouses on different categories, that gold certification, silver certification, and bronze certification based on different criteria to the warehouses. So I had to ensure that our internal coordination match with external timelines as well. That means adopting my working style, becoming more structured, documenting everything, and being super clear in follow ups. So that project made me realize how important ownership is when you're handling global operations or any project that of matters. So there is no one else to blame. You have to take the full accountability, track every detail, learn to follow through. It's still done. So that mindset has always stayed with me. That's one of the greatest thing that I've learned from those projects that I did run globally.
Right. So how did your time at ABPS changed your career or the perception towards your work? And what would be your advice to students who are currently studying at ABPS?
ABBS has been a wonderful part of my life because I somebody come from the BCom background,
Mhm.
and I did not have a very great exposure to the real world, and ABBS played a really huge role in helping me discover my career direction. As I mentioned also that I did learn finance through my education, but due to the exposure that I got in ABBS with different programs that we did run, that I was being part of, it gave me a whole together new industry to explore, and I'm loving working in supply chain and logistics right now.
Yes.
So if I want to stress on something that, as I mentioned, I had a very limited exposure to a real world industries, but ABBS gave me an opportunity from being a part of entrepreneurship development cell to organizing conferences, meeting industry leaders. And actually one of those such conferences actually led me to my internship at New Year Logistics, as I was introduced to, director of operations by one of the professor again. And that one conversation changed the entire course of my career. I always enjoyed my time at ABBS. I have learned a lot of things through various programs introduced by our college. So my advice to the current students is to show up, volunteer, coordinate, talk to the guest speakers, ask questions after the sessions. Don't wait for the opportunities. Basically, you can create them, because I'm pretty much sure that there are a lot of opportunities, or the programs will always be coming in the college, that I at least witnessed those, and I was being part of all those programs. I did take as much as possible, even though as we are aware that 2019 to 2021 was mostly the COVID period. Though there was a very limited opportunity for the college to run all these programs, but they did make sure that we did get exposure as much as possible. So that would be my one of the tip to the students, that always be on toes, chase those opportunities. You don't have to question it all the times. You always no need to come up with a bigger plan, because along the way you can explore a lot of other things as well, which you may actually get interested into. So you have to be open
Right.
for all the opportunities that coming for. So one conversation or one event just might just open a door for you, just like it did it for me. So that's would be, I would say, to the students.
All right, it was really an insightful conversation. I enjoyed this conversation, and the students and professionals who will be watching this episode, they will also enjoy it and learn a lot of things about supply chain management, process optimization, process improvement, and also the career advice that you have given. Thank you so much for finding time from your busy schedule. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me, and allow me to give my perspective and share my experiences of my college as well as the work that I'm doing right now. It was wonderful being part of this session. Thank you very much for this opportunity.